It's been a loaded week in AI. We have got OpenAI facing some serious trust issues, Microsoft's pullback, and some big updates on agents, search, and video content. Hey, this is Kush, and in the next 10 minutes, I'll break down what happened this week in AI, why it matters for you, and how you can use it to its maximum potential. Let's jump in. Sam Altman is back in headlines, and this time it's quiet big. The Midas project and tech oversight project, two watchdog groups, have released 10,000-word report, the OpenAI files, covering a long list of concerns about how OpenAI is being run. The main takeaway is OpenAI has moved further away from its original mission, which was to build AI safely for benefit of humanity. The report highlights how they've considered removing 100x cap on investor returns, and leadership ignored AI safety concerns. They've also been accused of making employees sign extremely strict NDAs that include threats of losing their stock options if they say anything negative about the company, even private, which basically means choose between staying quiet or risking your financial future. It also mentions how leadership decisions are concentrated around Sam Altman and a small inner circle, which has no to zero transparency. When researchers warned about the powerful model breakthrough that might need strong safety oversight, and right after that the board tried removing Altman, we all know how it ended back then. Altman came back, replaced the board, and most of the researchers left or went quiet. Now the main thing is OpenAI's internal infrastructure is not built for dissent, and that's a problem. When you are building something as powerful and sensitive as AGI, what happens to safety teams? They cannot speak up without risking their equity, and it creates a culture where warning signs get buried, and that never ends well. At the same time, their high-profile deal with Johnny Ive hit a roadblock, and OpenAI had to take down promotional materials for Ive's startup IO after a temporary ban from the code. Another company called IYO claimed the name was already theirs and filed a trademark complaint. So for now, OpenAI can't use the name IO publicly, but the deal itself is still moving forward. Behind the scenes, things are getting tensed between OpenAI and Microsoft. OpenAI wants to restructure into a more standard company so they can raise more funding, reportedly up to $40 billion. But Microsoft has veto power over any changes like this. There were reports that OpenAI even considered accusing Microsoft for anti-competitive behavior to get out of this. Microsoft is not backing off either. After disagreements over IP sharing, Microsoft said it might pause further investment and just stick to their current licensing deal, which gives them access to OpenAI's model until 2030. They are still in talks, but for Microsoft to really pulls back, it's going to be a big funding gap for OpenAI to fill on its own. Google just rolled out AI model in search for Indian users. This is the biggest Gemini launch outside the US. With AI mode in search, you can get direct answers to more complex questions, kind of how ChatGPT does it, followed by all links underneath. The standout here is its multimodal feature. You can upload images or use voice input, and it still processes the whole thing together. That makes a lot of sense for India, where visual and voice searches are already widely used. For now, it's only in English inside Google Labs, so it's still in experimental phase. YouTube just announced a new AI feature that lets you generate entire shots from scratch with no filming or editing. It's built on top of Google's VO3 video model and will start rolling out later this year. YouTube's framing this as a creative tool, but a lot of creator and tech folks are calling this AI slop button. The concern is that it will flood the platform with low-effort, auto-generated videos and make it harder for original creators to stand out, especially when the feed is filled up with AI-generated content. YouTube said they are working with artists and agencies to protect the likeliness rights, and that the creator will have controls, but there's still no clear moderation system. This could go either way. It might help people prototype faster, or it might just bury the platform in junk content. While most headlines focus on big players, a Chinese startup called MiniMax quietly shipped one of the most capable open source models we have seen this year. It's called MiniMax M1. It uses mixture of expert setup, has a 1 million token context window, and is fully open source. But the more interesting part is what they've built with this. They launched an agent inside their own app that can take on full workflows. It can read long PDFs, plan, write, and even debug code. In one demo, it generated a full presentation about OpenAI's history, including content and slide structure, all from one prompt. So instead of just chatting or answering questions, this agent can actually complete tasks on its own end to end. And since it's paired with a massive context window, it can work across long documents or code bases without forgetting what it reads 10 steps ago. It's still in beta, but it's a strong signal that open source agents are catching up fast, not just in model quality, but in how they are being deployed. Sam Altman said in an interview that Meta has offered up to $100 million in total compensation to some of the OpenAI engineers. That's not a typo, $100 million. And reportedly, none of the top folks have left yet. But the fact that Meta is willing to spend that much tells you how serious the AI talent war has become. It also makes sense when you zoom out. Meta recently acquired part of Scale AI, bought in Scale's founder to lead its AGI lab, and has been picking up senior researchers from DeepMind and Google. Zuckerberg's betting big on building Meta's own stack, not just models like Llama, but the talent and infra around them. Whether it pays off or not, it's clear Meta wants to compete head-on with OpenAI and Google, and they are doing it with their checkbook. And lastly, a quick update from AI Impact Summit, which wrapped up this week in Frankfurt. A lot of panels were focused on agentic AI, and according to the report shared at the event, about 50% of the large enterprises now have at least one agent in production, up from 12% a year ago. These are not just for basic stuff, but some top use cases like untangling legacy data, automating IT incident responses, and even handling supply chain planning. Siemens shared how one of their agents monitors sensor data across multiple factories to predict downtime before it happens. Bottom line, if your organization still treats agents as a side project, you need to rethink the roadmap. As adoption picks up, the real advantage is coming from letting agents handle complexity where humans usually stop. That wraps up this week. Thanks for watching, and if you want the full breakdown on any topic, comment below and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.